Do you know just how easy it is for someone to find out about you, what you do, what you owe, even where you live? Do you think you have any measure of privacy left in this age of WikiLeaks, social media, and the web? Well, like it or not, we're all living in a world with disappearing privacy. If you want to know if there's anything you can do about it, then you got to stick around for this edition of It's Your Call. Hello, everyone. It's good to have you with us. I'm Lynn Doyle, here with some experts to tell us what we can do about what I'm calling our disappearing privacy. Sandra Jeske is a partner at Duane Morris, and her diverse areas of practice include privacy and security. Joseph Gill is the president of Gill & Associates, a Philadelphia-based private investigative firm, and Danny Savalas is a criminal and civil attorney who practices in Philadelphia. I welcome everybody to the show. Thank you so much for your time. I got this idea after my daughter told me about a website where I could put in my name and then all kinds of information would come up. Even more would come up if you wanted to pay a subscription fee. Now, I have to tell you, I know that I'm a public person, but there's a certain thing here that really freaked me out. I didn't realize the kind of information that could be obtained right down to a map to your house. I don't know about you, but it does really freak me out, so that's why I'm asking that these folks either take me off the ledge or help us all out and reassure me that I'm okay. I'm going to start with Joe, because as a private detective, I would think that this information that's available out there on computers now is probably your best resource.
Absolutely. And investigators really just do four things. They locate people, they interview people, they do background investigations, and they surveil people. And all of those categories, we start first with MySpace and Facebook. And what we're looking at there is we have a date of loss. And we're interested in, after that date of loss, this injured party, if they're doing things of athletic endeavors or something strenuous or from a family vacation, exactly what they're doing, whether it be in the way of pictorials or whether it be in the way of blogs.
Boy, that gives us a new frame of reference when we're posting things on social media sites, because it's never occurred to me that perhaps a private investigator might use that somewhere down the road should I ever be involved in anything legal.
Absolutely, Lynn.
Let's not say I'm not involved in anything illegal, but that I would be in a legal case for
Absolutely, and we look at for the future for it as well. So if we're monitoring someone on that website and we find out that on Friday night they're going out with their friends, we might put them under surveillance just to see if they show any signs of distress or discomfort, or if they have any apparent limitations.
Well, it's not just when there's a legal case pending though, Sandra, right? I mean, the net and the information that's available in it can be for other things as well. It can be used for other things.
Absolutely. I mean, there's really a new social norm, Lynn. People are just accustomed now to putting things on the internet, and through, particularly as you mentioned, social networking sites like Facebook, for example. You know, people post things that they might not normally post, and they do it to their quote-unquote friends, which may total in the hundreds, probably more than people actually have in real life. And this has really become the new social norm, and Facebook has pushed us in that direction to disclose more and more information. And now, as you said, you can simply do a search and, you know, they'll take this public information, which maybe is in records, you know, through public agencies and things, or information that you have on the social networking sites, and we've essentially created digital dossiers of our own life, and it's shocking once you see it.
Boy, now there's a term that you need to remember, a digital
dossier, a digital dossier of your life. They can find out pretty much anything that you put on the sites because that's public information. And unless you're really looking at the site and changing the privacy settings of what you're doing, that information, for example, Facebook, is available to your friends. It could be available to your friends' friends, and it could be just publicly available.
Well, during our pre-interview, we were talking with Joe, and actually you said that you don't even have to be friends with someone to use Facebook to gather information about that individual.
That's correct. What if we're not friends with somebody? And what investigators do is, if it's a 20-year-old female, they'll pretend they're a 20-year-old male. Of course, she looks like a male model, and vice versa on the genders. And who, 20, 25, or 30, is going to turn down a friend who looks like that? And then once you do that and you're in, then you're part of monitoring, the activity of what's going on there.
Vice versa, nothing. He says that it goes girl to guy, guy to girl. Quite frankly, females have no problem saying no to a friend request. It's usually us guys that are accepting a request from anyone who's scantily clad. We will say yes. And he's absolutely right. Once you make that acceptance, that person has free reign to look all over the stuff that you have posted, which is why I tell people, look, the internet, forget space. The internet is the next frontier. It's largely unregulated. It's the Wild West. Right now it responds almost purely to market forces, and there isn't a whole lot of oversight going on right now. Even laws, as they're passed, quickly become outdated because 3-4 years ago we didn't even have Twitter, or even Facebook wasn't nearly as popular or pervasive as it is now.
So if you're on one of these social media sites, or maybe a whole host of them, does that mean that you're opening yourself up for a lack of privacy? Do you need to remove yourself from all of these sites to assure that you have some privacy?
I don't think you need to do that. I just think you need to be aware that whatever you post could conceivably be there for 20 years. And you just have to be aware of everything you're putting on there, that someone's going to look at it. Even though you may be 20 or 25, you have to act like you're a 6-year-old and my parents are going to see it.
Right. And quite frankly, we're in an era really of what I like to think of as e-Darwinism. I mean, if we have a lot of people, if you look on Facebook, a lot of people that you may even know are putting things on Facebook that they must be out of their mind, because it will foreclose them ever holding any elected office, whether it be dog catcher, senator, anything. A lot of people are making poor decisions about what to put online, and because of that, they may suffer the consequences. So, for the most part, as long as people keep things professional, act like you're posting at work, you'll be okay.
The other thing I was going to say is that people have to make an informed decision about what they're doing online. So if you were to, example, take a look at the privacy settings that you have on Facebook and the various social media sites, and understand what you're agreeing to. I think in today's society we reflexively click I agree without thinking about it. But if I were to go to most of the audience and hand them a 4-page contract and say, I want you to sign this, this is what you're agreeing to, I think they would look at me in shock and want to know what that is. But the reality of it is the privacy statement that you're agreeing to on Facebook is 4 pages long, let alone the terms and conditions of use.
Now, we've focused a lot in this first segment on Facebook, and I know that it's, a predominant social media site out there today. But the other thing that I found when my daughter told me about this website, whose name I refuse to share with the audience because I don't want them to get the publicity, was that you could put my name in, for example, and find out not only where I lived, how old I was, whether I was married, what I owed on my house, or what my house was worth. That has never been on Facebook or MySpace or anything else. I've never made that information public. So how is it available?
Well, because it's available from public records, Lynn. So your mortgage is available. People have a lien. You have a house. So you have property tax records. There are property records that identify you live in such and such house. That you have a lien on your home from your mortgage company. They can assess how much that is. There are marriage records, divorce records, if you have criminal records, whatever that case may be. You combine that information on some of these sites with what you have out on the social networking sites, and it is frightening, and it's a wake-up call to everyone.
Well, that's what we're hoping that this show will be, as a wake-up call to you. Are you someone who totally values your privacy, or do you think it's okay if anyone and everyone knows your business? Are you worried or concerned about this lack of privacy that we're talking about, or do you just think it's part of our society today? It's not freaking you out, it's freaking me out. If you want to tell us what you think, you can email me right now directly at lynn@lynndoyle.net. And of course, you can find us on Facebook, MySpace, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of them. We're out there. Not sure after this show I'm going to stay, but we have to take a short break. When we come back, now that you know that people can access you in a way like never before, what do you do about it? We're going to be back with the answer to that in 2 minutes.